Well, hello there YouTubers, and welcome to MFM. We're all pretty familiar with this little box. Well, most of us modelers are. And no, it's not a packet of fish fingers, but it's kind of got that feel to it. By that, I'm not being derogatory. I think it's a great little package. It's that sort of ubiquity of it. But lovely little model, which now, I mean, this Airfix Spitfire in the new tooling, it's become pretty iconic. By iconic, I'm not talking about the real aircraft. I mean, most of us know how iconic that is. But this kit itself, in its recent tooling, becomes something of a little star, really, especially for the money. You know, I think I bought this for like £5.99 or £6. Wonderful little kit from what I've been reading and videos I've seen. But and also there is that well, there's a lot of truth in this, I think. I mean, I've also heard other modelers say this, and I've read it and various sources that, you know, on the one hand, if you've not built an Airfix 1/72nd scale Spitfire Mark 1, and I'm talking about the Mark 1 here, the original, the Battle of Britain one, as we can see from the digital artwork on here. You know, we've got a Messerschmitt BF-109 going down, being shot down there. But if you've not built the Spitfire Mark 1 in this scale, even if you've built hundreds or thousands of other models, I don't count myself in that category because I have not built hundreds of models, but even if you have, if you've not built the Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1, you're not really a modeler. Well, not really an aircraft modeler, should I say. And maybe there is a lot of truth in that. Just something about what this kit has become. Anyway, on the side box, got a nice little graphic there. It's a very slim little package. I mean, it's a side opening box, which a lot of people don't like, but you can't really whinge about that when it's a little, you know, the popular Spit, which you can literally buy off the shelf, like I say, like a packet of cards or something. It's a great little package. Also another little side graphic there, all sharp, really sharp illustrations on their diagrams. And like I say, we've already talked about the digital illustration on the front. It's rather nice. I mean, I personally prefer the handmade illustrations, but you know, this is the time we're at, and it's actually a great rendition there of the colours, with your dark matte earth and your dark matte green for the famous camouflage. And what I like about on the back here, on the back of the packet, is compared with a lot of other, well, especially Airfix kits, because they use the Humbrol paints. I don't use Humbrol paints, so I mix my own up. Or, you know, there's other paints, but I know a lot of people do use Humbrol. But what I do like about this is you've got the colour code in there, which actually says, you know, number 11 is the silver, so 24 matte trainer yellow, 29 matte dark earth, matte dark green, etc., etc. Now, what I like about that is that if you do mix up your own colours, you know which colours to get really close to. You know the exact right tones to mix. Whereas on other Airfix kits, like the other one I'm doing at the moment, is the Fallen Nat. Now that's pretty bad for that, because there's no, all you've got is the Humbrol paint numbers, but there's no corresponding colour chart, which is kind of a shame. But on this it does, so you know, top marks for this little kit for that. I mean, yeah, I know it's not one of these, might not be the best in its scale. I mean, obviously, you know, we're not talking like the Edwards and the Tamiyas, but this is still a brilliant kit, you know, and maybe at the end of the day that doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as it's reached a certain level of quality and detail. I mean, how far can you go with these things? You know, they're not real aircraft. We're talking about models here. But so yeah, and also, you know, when you're making it, don't forget to do half of your wing in the famous black half of the wing, and then the white half, and the corresponding silver for the fuselage. Is that silver? It's not silver, surely, is it? Yeah, it is. Thought it was a light grey. There's no light grey on there. Anyway, we can have a quick look in the box in a moment. I shall be back shortly. Right, so I guess we're going to have to open her up and look inside. But as I say, so this is my attempt at rectifying a major flaw in my limited modelling life, which is to build the Spitfire Mk.1 Airfix. It's got to be done. So let's get this open. Let's seal it off anyway. Have a look inside. Instructions. Decal sheet comes off. A quick look at that first then. Nice little clear decal sheet, which is what we'd expect at the moment. Not too many decals, which is nice for beginners and more experienced modelers alike, who might be heartily sick of some models with millions of decals to use the soft solution on. But yep, clear, nice quality decals there, nice colours, very nice. Fairly thick, not too thick, but seems quite thick, but at least it's not too thin. So that's that. Instructions, the new kind of Hornby, the new Hornby owner's instructions now for the Airfix kits, with your Airfix logo up in the top left there, and then the name of the model. I'm not going to go into major detail on this, like the history of the Spitfire and all that kind of thing. That's something separate. You know, if you're interested in that, then it's best to read something, read a good book on it, or you know, a proper documentary, I think. But maybe on the build I might throw in my 10 pence worth or whatever. But yeah, just very basic instructions. We've got seven instruction windows altogether. Very clear, very straightforward diagrams. No messing. No messing, sir. So it all goes together rather nicely, I think. There's a lovely little cockpit arrangement there. There's your pilot. Of course, you can build these now, you know, with the pilot. I know it's kind of trendy at the moment not to put the pilots in, but it's good to hone your skills, practicing your figure painting though, if you can. There he is. That's illustration number 1. So that's just to show you really what the standard of the standard Airfix illustration booklet now. You know, nothing fancy, but it's slightly above the level of a photocopy. It's above that. It's a lot clearer, better quality than a photocopy. But it seems to be anyway. So that's perfectly adequate. You know, beginners can easily follow that. It's not overcomplicated. It's great. Just what we want. Just what we want. And that brings us on to the model itself. It's in one package, one plastic bag. Two sprues. They're not separated, which you'd expect at this kind of price range anyway. As you can see, already through the plastic here, nicely incised detail and panel lines. Not too deep, but just right. Very good quality. Nice moulding, lovely moulding on it. You can see that before I've even opened the package. So let's I'll open it anyway. Open her up, gently take them out. Oh, and here's your clear part, your cockpit, the distinctive lines and shape of the Spitfire cockpit there. Again, looks pretty good quality to me. Good optical qualities in that, and clean up nicely. And as always, don't forget to clean the sprues first, which removes the releasing agent which they use to manufacture these in the mould. But anyway, let's have a look at the brief look at the detail on the sprues on the plastic before I wrap this little video up. But there you can see it's nicely laid out. I mean, it's a simple model. There's not that many parts at all to this. Build it in a very short time. Obviously it depends on the standard of build you want to make, how long you spend on any model, but you could make this one really quickly. You know, especially if you're off school, you're not doing your homework, for the younger modelers do this one in an afternoon or in the morning. So, yeah, pilot's pretty standard, nothing special about that detail on there, but it's okay. Some nice sidewall detail on the fuselage. Let's get that. Very nice sidewall detail on the fuselage there, not bad at all. I mean, obviously the good modelers can really go to town on that, and if you're not so good, it doesn't matter, because you can just give that a few washes and you know it's there. You've even got control lever there, look, little control lever, so that is rather nice, good quality. Like I say, nice moulding, it's very clear. Same with the other side there, other small parts. This Mk.1 is the 3 propeller version, or the 3 bladed version. And you've got your landing gear here. They're not bad actually, they look quite strong. There's a few other manufacturers I could mention on their smaller scales where you have to be so careful. Or I've broken quite a few, because me being a clumsy so and so. But these look as if they stand up to a lot more, you know, obviously you've got to be careful with it, but these look a lot more substantial, and the wheels are quite nice as well. So there we have it, that's basically it. Oh yeah, we're going to have to show the other side of the fuselage. Some nice panel lines, which I'm intent not on overdoing on this model, because when you actually see the real aircraft, they're not that apparent. You know, I think, ooh, I mean, I myself, I've been guilty of overdoing panel lines on a couple of models while I've been learning, but it really is becoming. But look at that, it's a really nice mould. Lovely lines on that fuselage. Really nice lines on there. Really nice lines. So that's sprue A anyway. Sprue A and sprue B. Bob's your uncle, it's all done. And without further ado, I'm going to roll up this video and get on with making it. So that's a couple of builds I've got going, well, probably 3 builds I've got going at the moment. But this one I really do want to get my teeth into this. That's one for the shelf. Try out a few painting techniques on it, so I'm really looking forward to starting this. And any other modelers out there, if you've not built one, you know, £5.99, £6, whatever. I mean, some people charge a bit more, but basically for £6, you cannot go wrong. You really cannot go wrong. So, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye for now.